Hello, it is Tuesday, September the 4th. My name is Gareth Evans and we are going to talk about a load of gaming news that happened since yesterday. Loads of stuff. First up, let's talk about the console wars. And people have been saying for ages, there is no console wars. What are you talking about, guys? Nobody argues over consoles. It was just yesterday that Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida was in the news for shutting down the possibility of cross-platform play on the PS4, stating that PlayStation is the best place to play. Unsurprisingly, this saw some backlash for Sony, as their unpopular stance on cross-platform play has been a talking point for over a year now. Earlier this year, Microsoft and Nintendo, you might say, threw a little bit of shade in Sony's direction when the two companies came together for a joint ad campaign for Minecraft. And now, Xbox's corporate vice president Mike Ibarra had something to say in response to Yoshida's recent comments. Speaking on Twitter, Ibarra said of Sony, "Still isn't listening to gamers. All games should be cross-play and progression with the right input flexibility and gamer options." And in response to one user pointing out that Sony have been beating Xbox for years now, he said the following: "We run Windows and console, large gaming audience who wants to play together. Gaming is diverse. If you only serve to bring joy to part of an audience, then you are behind in many ways." Many people say that the console war is not a thing, it's just a figment of your imagination. Mike Ibarra here is literally shovel in hand digging trenches, and whichever side that you're on, it doesn't exactly make it easy for gamers to stay non-partisan and stay objective when it comes to these types of things. You might not even be bothered about crossplay at this point, you might not even be fussed. Sony and PlayStation are so far ahead of the competition at this point, they pretty much do what they want, which leaves Mike Ibarra and Xbox to be swinging punches, you could say, on Twitter. However, it is really interesting to see how Xbox have become so pro-consumer, or at least that's the line that they're trying to promote so much, says that they are the pro-consumer choice now. And a large part of what you hear of them these days is they are there for the gamer, they are the pro-consumer choice. I'm just wondering how long this will go on for, with Sony sticking to their guns, as it were, on the whole crossplay thing before they realise that it's pretty bad publicity for them. And it is going to be interesting to see whether this has an effect on Sony and PlayStation's market share going into the next console generation, because Microsoft and Xbox do have some tricks up their sleeve. But how do you feel about the situation? Could you not be asked either way about crossplay? Do you think PlayStation are shooting themselves in the foot with this media line? Do you think Microsoft and Xbox can claw it back for the next generation based on what they've got planned? Let me know that and anything else you feel down in the comments below. And next up, for those of you who've always dreamed about winning a gold medal at the Olympics in your favourite esport, and there must be absolutely thousands of you out there with this dream, maybe even dozens, maybe a couple, one or two? Unfortunately, that dream may well be dead. It looks like any goals for esports to step up to the plate and become part of the Olympics will have to be benched for now. During a recent interview with International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach, he stated that video games are contradictory to the Olympic values. We cannot have in the Olympic program a game which is promoting violence or discrimination, so-called killer games. Bach himself won the gold in the 1976 team fencing competition. You know, that sport where you poke another person with a big, sharp sword. Now, I get it, he doesn't want violent games to be part of the Olympics. However, he won a gold medal in a sport where you literally have to wear a protective suit from fear of being killed. It seems the irony is not lost on him, as he continued with, "Of course, every combat sport has its origins in a real fight among people, but sport is the civilized expression about this. If you have e-games where it's about killing somebody, this cannot be brought into line with our Olympic values." This isn't the first time Bach has discussed the Olympic future of esports or e-games. In an interview last year, he brashly stated that the Olympics Committee wants to, quote, "promote non-discrimination, non-violence, and peace among people." This doesn't match with video games, which are about violence, explosions, and killing. And there we have to draw a clear line. It's clear that esports are far off being regarded as a real skill-based activity. So if ever somebody is competing at playing football virtually or playing other sports virtually, this is of high interest. We hope that then these players are really delivering sports performance. If fans at the end would even play the sports in the real world, we would even be more happy. These discussions are going on. It will still take some time because this industry is now shaping itself. It's a successful industry, but it's not yet really established in an organizational way. You have to have somebody that is guaranteeing you that these athletes doing video sports games are not dope, that they are following technical rules, and that they are respecting each other. I'm not exactly sure how many performance enhancing drugs there are for video games. Maybe that's why I'm always losing on PUBG. It's because they're all taking drugs. On a serious note, this guy is contradicting himself a little bit here. On the one hand, he said video games are about violence, explosions, and killing and all that. That's a pretty sweeping statement there, dude. And on the other hand, he's talking about the discussions that are going on about including esports into the Olympics. There's quite a few games that you could include in the esports. If that really was your reason for not including them because they're too violent or whatever, there's loads of games like FIFA, any of the sports games, literally any of the sports games, Rocket League, something like that. There's absolutely loads. Again, this guy is just ignorant to the fact that games just aren't all about violence. They're not all played by kids. He's fine about having sports like boxing in the Olympics. The whole point of that sport is literally to punch somebody in the face. It's not my place to say whether esports belong in the Olympics or not. I'm just saying, if you've got an argument against gaming, make sure it's watertight. Make sure you're not spouting shit, because it sounds very much like he's spouting shit. I know it's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you excited about the possibility of maybe having esports in the Olympics? Esports will literally be a medal-winning event at the Asian Games in 2022. Why not the Olympics? Do you think this guy is behind the times and his opinions are outdated? Or do you think that esports shouldn't be in the Olympics anyway because it's just not sport, are they? That isn't my opinion. I'm just asking questions, guys. Questions are not an opinion. Let's move on. I know what you're thinking. It's time for the news nuggets. Waiter, do you even order nuggets at a restaurant? First up, Spider-Man's first DLC gets a teaser trailer, even though the game isn't even out yet. We got some leaked Shadow of the Tomb Raider screenshots which show a young Lara Croft. If you needed any more of an excuse not to do your homework with the new school term starting imminently, GOG has a back to school sale live now through September the 10th. The Division 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey demos are headed to EGX 2018, which is pretty great. Well, at least for me, because I'll be going. The Walking Dead Final Season Episode 2 got a teaser trailer, and Fortnite is adding a grappling hook, which apparently it's big enough news for all major gaming outlets to cover it in a full article. Ching. Alpha Protocol Remastered was teased by Obsidian on Twitter. We got 12 minutes of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country gameplay. And we also got a user posting some Halo Infinite concept art on Twitter. So there you have it. There are your daily news nuggets. If you want a link to anything that I've just mentioned, the links are down in the description of this video. You're most welcome. Also, as a side note, if you want to get hold of some of the new PGG merch, which is pretty fucking cool, links to them will be down in the description. It is time for another dad joke, and today's dad joke comes in from Rick D over on the Pretty Good Gaming Discord. He says, I downloaded the soundtrack from the movie The Titanic, and it's sinking now. Sinking now. It's sinking now. The Titanic soundtrack. Yesterday saw the Fortnite Summer Skirmish qualifiers and final take place, with a relatively unknown player named Margos walking away with the $1.5 million prize. Why don't I play Fortnite? Why I should play Fortnite? But despite the event's apparent success, it didn't go by without its problems. During one of the qualifying rounds, Epic found themselves in a little bit of a pickle, having to choose a winner by the flip of a coin. Players Colton and the real Cryome wound up being tying in every possible way: the total points, number of victory royales, number of eliminations, and the average placement. Unfortunately, in the case that something as rare as this might happen, the only solution put in place by Epic was a coin flip. The winner of the flip was the real Cryome, with Colton understandably upset, took to Twitter to express his frustration. A coin flip stopped me from getting a chance at 1.5 million. GG's everyone, what a great experience this was. I shouldn't laugh. Hopefully things change and they don't have to use the coin flip system again. Would hate to see someone else deal with it. Best of luck to everyone else tomorrow. You all earned it. Nice meeting everyone too. Enjoy it. I mean, I can understand why this guy's a little bit upset, right? You play a game about shooting, battle royale game. You train for ages at a chance of winning 1.5 million. 1.5 million, by the way. Here now. And then it's decided by a coin flip. They couldn't think of a better solution. Could they not just put them out on a 1v1? A quick 1v1. A flip and a coin, man, that's just Absolutely savage. Savage. Can I use savage? Can I say savage? Am I too old to say the word savage? Savage. Obviously, Epic weren't anticipating that people would tie like they did because it's so unlikely to happen, right? Yeah, they should probably fix that for next year. So that's it for your Tuesday's daily dose of gaming news. I'll be back tomorrow at exactly the same time. Click the bell if you want to be notified when that video goes live. I will see you then. Until then, bye for now.